The goal isn't to get married, it's to stay married. The goal isn't to get rich, it's to stay rich. The same applies to your health and fitness. The goal isn't to get fit and healthy and lose weight, it's to stay healthy and fit and keep the weight off. Hey, I'm Brian, founder of FatLossAfter40.com, and today I want to talk to you about the infinite game of fitness and how sometimes in our quest to become fit, our quest to drop weight, our quest to get healthier, we will sometimes take short-term thinking for a long-term goal. So what does that look like in real life? So if you're over the age of 40, you're probably bombarded with what we call the mainstream fitness way of working out. And there's the mainstream fitness is geared towards 20 and 30-year-olds. But if you're over the age of 40, 50, 60, and beyond, your goal really needs to be focusing on one thing. We're going to keep this simple, and that is repairing and resetting a sluggish metabolism. Because after the age of 40, you start to suffer from sarcopenia, which all that means is muscle wasting. And what that does to your body is it throws your whole hormone profile out of whack. I'm sure you can all agree. And second is it slows your metabolism. So once we fix the metabolism, that will fix your hormone profile and it will reignite a sluggish metabolism. So what does that look like in practicality? So I'll tell you what it doesn't include. So it doesn't include doing the soul-crushing workouts that we used to do. And that's the super long, hard cardio or the hour-plus workouts or, God forbid, the 2-a-day workouts. All of that stuff, again, worked when we were younger, but now that does more harm than good, and here's why. What that does is that raises your cortisol levels. When your cortisol levels are elevated, it is nearly impossible to lose weight. So what is the answer? The answer is 30-minute strength training workouts. Anything over 30 to 40 minutes is when the cortisol levels start to rise above unacceptable levels. So you just want to work out, which the good news is you don't need to live in the gym, and you shouldn't live in the gym. All you need to do is about 30 to 40 minutes of progressive strength training where you are toning and sculpting your whole body 2 to 3 times a week. You don't need to go to the gym every day. So that is the good news. And if you follow that, you're going to occur what we call the afterburn effect. The afterburn effect is where you burn more calories for up to 72 hours after your workout. So you can do a workout today and up to 3 hours later, you're still burning more calories. So that's why you want to focus on strength training. Number 2 is when it comes to nutrition, you really want to focus on protein. We call it the POP diet, the power of protein. And here's why that's important, is because nothing else, and I repeat, nothing else when it comes to nutrition will accelerate a sluggish metabolism like protein. It's like putting fuel on a fire, and think of your metabolism as a fire. The hotter the fire, the bigger the fire, the warmer it gets. Same with your metabolism. The higher your metabolism, the more calories you're going to burn even at rest. So by eating a sufficient amount of protein, and we like to start around 100 grams a day, that is going to fuel your protein fire. That is going to keep your metabolism elevated and you're going to burn more calories. Now, I want to make this point that here we are very inclusive, meaning that we believe that carbohydrates are part of the program, fats are part of the program, but we do know that protein is essential. So you can eat whatever, you can eat all the food groups. Now, we're not saying keto, we're not elimination diet, none of that nonsense, but what we are doing is saying that you need to focus on getting at least 100 grams of protein. And never, and I repeat, never go under 1,200 calories. Any kind of starvation diet or diet that talks about 1,000 calories or 1,100 calories or sometimes even less, stay away from that, because again, that just like overtraining is going to do more harm than good. That's going to put your metabolism in a free fall, and we don't want that. And third, last component is what we call neat calories. All right, all that means is technically it's called non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Big terminology, but what that means in real world talk is that it's just your activity levels. We typically refer to them as steps. Now, we're not talking about cardio, but we're just talking about steps. You often heard about getting 10,000 steps a day, and there's a reason behind that, because that's a good metric to start at. And all that means is that you're moving around more, because all that little extra activity is like loose change. It all adds up to big results. So what happens is we have a tendency, especially in our culture, is we'll park in our garage, we walk to our car, we go to the office, we go out. Like a lot of us don't get that many steps unless we actually are intentional about it. So what does that mean? Try and park further away if you're shopping. Go for a walk after dinner. Find ways maybe on your lunch break to go for a walk. Find ways to get more steps in, more activity. And again, the benefit of that is all that adds up over time. So those are the three things you want to focus on. Number one, again, is the progressive strength training. Number two is the POP diet. And number three is getting in your steps and your NEAT calories. And that will get you the results that you want. And that is the infinite game of fitness. That is, you do those, that will help you to get fit, healthy, drop the fat, and keep the fat off. And finally get the